Welcome back to the show, my preciouses. Did you get your flu shot yet? I did. You probably should, especially if you're a baby, elderly, or have a compromised immune system. Or an elderly baby, especially elderly babies.
That doesn't make any sense.
Shut up, Brett, you don't make any sense. Recently on the show, we posed a question to the crowd from viewer Tiana, who asked about the proper etiquette for texting people in different time zones. Here are some of your responses. It seems like the prevailing opinion is that you should text away, knowing in your heart that most people have the good sense to turn on the D&D mode when they're asleep. Now mine shifts on automatically at 10 p.m. every night and turns off at 8 a.m. in the morning, giving me a little time after I wake up to get my head on straight and get caffeinated before I have to start thinking about text messages. Though, some of you rejected the idea of putting the onus on the receiver and said, when in doubt, send an email. Up next, a question for you penguin people out there. Not that, this. Dear Veronica, I'm looking to change from Windows to Linux and would like to find a distro right for me. I'm looking for a Linux operating system that puts usability and privacy on the top of the agenda. P.S. I really love the show and I love watching it every single week. Keep up the hard work. Thanks so much, David. Here to help me out with your answer is Engadget Managing Editor Terrence O'Brien.
If you're looking to give Linux a go, I'd suggest you start with either Ubuntu or Linux Mint. But since you said privacy is important, I'd choose Mint. It's easy to set up, plays things like MP3s without having to install extra software, and it has a clean UI that's very similar to Windows. Plus, unlike Ubuntu, it doesn't bundle things like Amazon product searches in your desktop search results. That's the sort of thing that makes privacy buffs really nervous.
Thanks, Terrence. Now, I'm not a regular Linux user myself, though it did save my butt recently when my gaming PC died. I was able to make a bootable USB thumb drive with Ubuntu on it to grab some of my data off the hard drive before I did a clean install of Windows 10. Long story. But anyway, David, I hope this helped. Now for a lightning round! I know, it's been a while. Dear Veronica, what would you recommend to protect an Xbox One while traveling with it as carry-on luggage? Bubble wrap. Always go with bubble wrap and tape, and pat it with some clothes if you can. Dear Veronica, I upgraded from an iPhone 5S to a 6S Plus. Now my step count is 1 to 2K less than it was with my 5S step tracking. What gives? Well, you've become lazy and complacent. Your new phone just has higher standards. So, give it what you got, Four-Visor. Dear Veronica, are there any apps or websites that calculate cost of gas? How do you plan road trips? Thanks, at Damien Dimmock. Try GasBuddy.com. They have a trip cost calculator that lets you put in your route, your car's make and model, and then shows you how much you'll spend. It'll even show you where you should stop for gas along the way. Very handy. As for me, I just fly by the seat of my pants and hope for the best. Dear Veronica, should I get the new Fire TV or Apple TV? Depends. The Fire TV is cheaper at $99 compared to Apple's $149 for the 4th generation box. But overall, it should come down to content and which ecosystem you prefer. Out of the two, I'd say the Apple TV, but frankly, I watch more content on my Xbox and TiVo than anything else, so what do I know? That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and keep sending in those lovely questions on Twitter using the hashtag Dear Veronica. I'll see you next time.